IGN's E3 live show, everybody. The Fable series has always been about having the freedom to be whatever you want to be. Fable 3 is only going to continue with this tradition, so let's now welcome Lionhead's Peter Molyneux to the show floor.
Hey, Peter. So, what are you showing us from Fable 3 here at E3?
Okay, well, here we are at E3, and I'm just going to pick up a piece of the game and just shove it to you.
Okay, great.
And we're going to have it, having a demo here and running it. So let's give you a catch up on what Fable 3 is about. It starts, if you played Fable 2, you can import your old save game from Fable 2 and you play the son or daughter from the hero of Fable 2. We are going to import some of your decisions and choices, especially where some of the last few decisions and choices are there. You can expect to carry on paying the consequences of your choices from that. Now, what's the story? The story is this. Two brothers, one of the brothers gets the crown, the other brother becomes a hero. You play the brother that becomes a hero. Unfortunately, the brother that gets the crown turns into this terrible, tyrannical figure. He really is the worst tyrant you could possibly imagine. In fact, we can just take a little look at him and have a look at that tyrant just really quickly. And I think we can see him here. He wants to rule Albion with a rod of iron. What he's actually doing is that beautiful Albion that you saw before, a beautiful Albion with green lush fields, he's just tearing down the trees, replacing them with the factories, industrial revolution time, starvation, poverty, child labor, everything you can think of. And what we are trying to do for you is make you think, I want to overthrow this guy. I want to get enough people to follow me, so I lead a revolution, go up, to attack the castle, face him mano a mano, take him out. Normally, that would be the end of the game.
Right.
But in Fable 3, that's just the middle of the game. Because we want the choices and consequences you had in Fable 1 and Fable 2 to be much bigger in Fable 3. I want to decide the fate of a whole kingdom. I want to decide if people starve and I get lots of money, or if I'm a nice leader and give lots of taxes out if there's lots of prosperity. It's up to you.
What is the benefit of starving your subjects, though?
It's very simple. I mean, you may ask this about your own president. It's very simple. The more money you take from people, the more money you've got to use for yourself. Now, just like our leaders in today's world, they use it on some bizarre things. Maybe you're keeping it in you actually can see the gold in the dungeons of the castle. Maybe you're keeping the gold for a particular reason, and there are reasons in the story which I won't spoil you about. Maybe you're keeping it selfishly. You can literally spend hard-earned taxes on what your castle looks like. But people will starve if you do that.
Right.
So, how does all this work? So firstly, the first half of the game is all about getting followers. Now, one of the things that we changed from Fable 2 to Fable 3 was the idea that everything that you do can give you followers. So, for example, maybe not kicking chickens as you saw just there. So, for example, we can pick up and we can talk to anybody. This woman, for example. If I can befriend her, or if I can get her respect, she will follow me. She may know people, and she may bring. Unfortunately,
that's a good way to get respect from a woman.
I mean, in England, that's the way we like to meet people. But you can get that respect in any way you like. And the cool thing is, she may know lots of other people. So you will gain followers from meeting people, befriending people, chatting people up. Marrying people is a great way of getting followers. If you're really good at combat, you'll get followers because people respect you about followers. If you do quests in the game, you get followers. Everything leads into this one thing. The more followers you have, the more powerful you are. So, for example, maybe she's, maybe we need to recompense her for that rather revolting fart, or maybe we could take this guy by the hand, using our touch expression again. You to try to pull away there for a second. I can take him by the hand, and we maybe take him to the pub for a drink. What you're doing is forming a relationship with people. That's really cool. And remember, Hillary, all of this is fully co-opable. In other words, I can play in your world, I can take people by the hand in your world, I can be off doing what I'm doing in my part of the game while you're off questing in your
Can
part
we
of the game.
both touch the same person at the same time? Can we go hand in hand in hand?
You can try and touch the same person at the same time, you can try and use touch in combat, you can try and use touch on each other. You can even, if you want to do this, you and I could co-op in the same game and we could get married together. And then touch takes on a whole new meaning in a co-op relationship.
Was that a proposal?
It could be. Hey, why not? You know, I'm all for experimentation in today's world. Anyway, let's get back. You know, that's everything that we had in Fable 1 and Fable 2 is here. Buying houses, selling houses, customization, all of that stuff. But remember, everything you do gives you followers, so it makes a difference in the game. The core of what we're doing is quests. Quests are going to give you followers as well. This woman here, she's just said that her daughter's got lost and could I go out and find her? So we're going to do some questing now. But before we do that, we need to get ready.
Right.
And this is all to do with our whole new GUI system. I hated the old Fable 2 GUI system.
Now for people who don't know what GUI is, can you just explain that real quick?
Right, it's called Graphical User Interface. And normally what it means is the 2D stuff that's on screen. And in a lot of games, and a lot of role-playing games especially, a huge amount of the game is in there. So it's the place where you change your clothes, the place where you level up, the place where you decide attributes of your character. Why not put all that stuff in the world? So here we are in the Sanctuary. And in the Sanctuary, this is the equivalent of a 2D choicing stuff. In here, I can walk up to a mannequin and change my clothes just by pressing A. Everything is a lot more faster, a lot more accessible. This guy over here, this guy is John Cleese, the father of Monty Python. He has got more AI than any other character we've done before. He will absolutely make you laugh, and he will help you decide on what clothes to wear, decide on what weapons to use. So I can quickly change my clothes and get ready to go out into combat. I can go and choose my weapons, and I can even use this map, unfortunately it's a little bit foggy, this fully interactive 3D map of the world to actually decide where I go. So there's a huge amount of stuff in there. But let's just choose a new weapon to take on this quest. So I can go up and I can choose a rifle. Here's the next cool thing. We've got so much leveling up. I love leveling up in role-playing games. I absolutely adore it. Everything levels up. Every weapon levels up. Levels up as you use it, in the style that you use it. Unlocks special moves. Unlocks the different looks for that weapon. So if I choose a different weapon to go on a quest, I will be leveling up that weapon. My body levels up. The way I look levels up. A lot of stuff in Fable 3 will level up. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the combat side.
Sure, absolutely.
And we're just going to skip to that section just in the interest of time rather than run to that section. So here we are. I changed my clothes again because it was very snowy. I've changed to a sword. The little girl that I've been looking for, I've just used the right-hand trigger to find her. My dog scented her and hunted her down. I now can use spells to just push back those wolves there. I can fast switch. I can fast switch to swords. Remember, everything's leveling up as I'm doing it. As I'm doing that, because I've been using that sword enough, it unlocks a special move there. I can then fast switch to guns as well. All of that is combined together to give this level of combat.
That's awesome. And so, can you explain a little bit about how the magic works now? Because now it's based on the rings that you wear, is that right?
So it's based on something called gauntlets. And gauntlets are, there's a very cool thing about gauntlets. You can put a fire gauntlet on and a vortex gauntlet. That will mix those two spells together and weave them together so you can apply those two gauntlets together. Now remember, gauntlets will level up just like anything else. So a level 5 fire gauntlet with a level 1 vortex gauntlet will give you a totally new spell. And then this combat demo finishes with this touch mechanic again, just reassuring the little girl it's there, it all sort of comes together.
Oh, that's really impressive. And then there's also the stuff where you can take your weapon, is this correct, and trade it with a friend who comes in online and plays co-op, is that right?
Yes, you can trade it with it. You can, if I come into your world, you can give me a weapon. I can then continue leveling it up for you. I can take it back into my world. I can trade it online. I can sell it. Weapons are very unique. Whoever started the weapon off still continues to be known as that weapon, which is really cool. So you could see a weapon that you started being traded online, and it can continue to grow.
That's awesome. And when can people pick up a copy of Fable 3?
Fable 3 will be out on the 26th of October 2010 in stores at midnight.
Sounds fantastic. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a bunch, guys. If you guys have any comments about what you saw, please remember to follow our Twitter at IGN. Also, coming up in the next segment, we'll give you info on how you can win free prizes just for watching our show. Up next, we're going to strap on a seatbelt and take a look at the newly announced driver game. See you guys soon.